if you see the chemical properties of 13th group, in 13th group the only non-metal is boron, which is less reactive. But if you increase the temperature, the reactivity also it is increasing. And most of the compounds of boron are electron deficient, and they show unusual type of covalent bonding. What is meant by covalent bond? Bond which is formed during the mutual sharing of electrons. Here it is unusual, means sometimes it will not happen, so that we call it as some deviation will be there. We call it as unusual bonding type, that is covalent type of bond, because of its smaller in size, high ionization energy, and similarity in electronegativity with carbon and hydrogen. So if there is any exception, means it is very important, so you have to remember. So when you take boron, it is forming unusual covalent bond because of its small size, high ionization energy, and similarity in electronegativity with carbon and hydrogen. Don't forget this, because this is an exception. Next, if you take the formation of metal borides, next we are going to see how this boron is reacting with the other metals. So if it is going to react with the metal, means it is in the formula of Mx and By. And these borons, they don't react with the alkali metals. They don't react with the alkali metals. And they, with the other metals, if they are reacting, means they can be in the form of Mx and By. That is, M is your metal and B is your boron. So this X could be in the range up to 11 and Y could be in the range up to 66, or it can go beyond also. First we have is direct combination of metals with boron. So directly you will make it to react. So here we have is chromium reacting with N times of boron. N could be anything like 1, 2, 3 or anything. So chromium, when it reacts directly with N times of boron at 1500 Kelvin, you will get chromium monobromide. So for only one boron means I will call it as chromium monobromide, or 2 means dibromide, 3 means tribromide. Depending upon the number of boron, you can name it. Next is reduction of boron trihalide. So reduction means what? Addition of hydrogen, we call it as reduction. So boron trihalide is trihalide. Halide means what? It is an halogen. So boron 3 times of chlorine is trihalide. So BCl3 plus W is a tungsten. What is W? Tungsten. So at 1500 Kelvin, so when you pass hydrogen gas H2, so which we call it as reduction. Is it clear? It forms tungsten boride. This WB is called as tungsten boride with chlorine gas and hydrochloric acid. Is it clear? Next we have is formation of hydrides. This boron, they don't react with the hydrogen directly. Instead, it forms different hydrides, we call it as boranes. So the simplest form of borane we have is B2H6. So keeping this as a base, you can form large number of borane also, like diborane, triborane, all this. We will study the structure of diborane in the coming topics. Now, when you treat this gaseous boron trifluoride, so BF3 is gaseous in nature with sodium hydride, NaH is sodium hydride, around 450 Kelvin, it gives diborane, that is B2H6 is our diborane along with the sodium fluoride. Next is formation of boron trihalides. So how to form boron trihalides? So here boron, it reacts with halogen. So halogen, it is always represented as capital X. So X means it could be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine or astatine, anything. So the halogens are always represented as S. So boron reacts with halogen to form boron trihalides around higher temperatures. Next is formation of boron nitride. So how this boron nitride is forming is when you burn this boron with dinitrogen, which is N2. At high temperature you will get boron nitride. Next is formation of oxides. So how this forms oxides mean, when you heat boron with oxygen, so oxides means it is going to have an oxygen. So when you heat this with oxygen at 900 Kelvin, it forms oxide B2O3. So which is diboron trioxide. B2O3 is diboron trioxide. Next we have is reaction with acids and alkali. Alkali means what? It is a base. So halo acids means they don't, like hydrochloric acids or halo acids, they don't have no reaction. They don't have any reaction with boron, but boron reacts with oxidizing acids. So the oxidizing acids means you should always keep it in your mind. Sulfuric acid and nitric acid forms boric acid. So you can see boron, it is reacting with the first reaction. You see boron H2SO4, B plus H2SO4, that is boron reacting with sulfuric acid to give H3BO3, which is our boric acid. Along with that, sulfur dioxide is liberated. That sulfur dioxide comes out from sulfuric acid. Second reaction, if you take boron reacts with nitric acid, it gives boric acid along with nitrogen dioxide, which comes out from the HNO3 nitric acid. Last reaction if you take means boron reacts with sodium hydroxide. NaOH is sodium hydroxide to give you sodium borate. So Na3BO3 we call it as sodium borate, where hydrogen gas is liberated. So that hydrogen gas comes out from this sodium hydroxide. Next we have is uses of boron. So we have few uses. If you take the first one, boron has the capacity to absorb neutrons. So its isotope 10 boron 5 is used as moderator in nuclear reactors. So moderator in nuclear reactors means, so in nuclear reactors the movement of electrons, so the electrons will be moving in a very very high speed. To reduce the speed of the neutrons, they use this isotope of boron to reduce the speed, which we call it as a moderator. Next one, if you take amorphous boron, which is powder form. Amorphous means what? Powder in form, they don't have proper crystalline structure, we call it as amorphous, which is used as a rocket fuel igniter. That is to start the motion, they use this rocket fuel igniter. Third point, boron is essential for cell walls of plants. And last point, they have many applications like eye drops, antiseptics, washing powders, which contain boric acid and borax. So if you could take any antiseptic cream at home, you can see the ingredients where this borax and boric acid will be present. In the manufacture of Pyrex glass, boric oxide is used. Next we are going to discuss about the borax in detail.